Hello boys and girls, welcome to Miss Eckert's second grade science class. Today we're going to learn about the water cycle. Take a look at this glass of water. Take a good long look. How old do you think the water is?
The water in your glass may have fallen from the sky as rain just last week, but the water itself has been around pretty much as long as the earth has. When the first fish crawled out of the ocean onto the land, this glass of water was part of that ocean. When the Bronchiosaurus walked through lakes feeding on plants, this glass of water was part of those lakes. When kings and princesses, knights and squires took a drink from their wells, this glass of water was part of those wells. And you thought your parents were old. This glass of water is very, very old. The earth has a limited amount of water. That water keeps going around and around and around, and well, you get the idea, in what we call the water cycle. Today we're going to learn about the water cycle. So what exactly is the water cycle? The water cycle is the journey water takes as it circulates from the land to the sky and back again. How does the water make its journey from the land to the sky and back again? There are 4 important processes that make up the water cycle. The water cycle is made up of a few main parts: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. The first part of the water cycle that I'm going to talk about is evaporation. Evaporation is when the sun heats up water in rivers or lakes or the ocean and turns it into vapor or steam. The water vapor or steam leaves the river, lake, or ocean and goes into the air. You can make your own evaporation when you heat some water in a pot on the stove. Look closely. Do you see the steam? That is evaporation. The second part of the water cycle following evaporation is condensation. Condensation is when water vapor in the air gets cold and changes back into liquid, forming clouds. You can see the same sort of thing at home when you pour a cold glass of water on a hot day. Look what happens. Water forms on the outside of the glass. That water didn't somehow leak through the glass. It actually came from the air. Water vapor in the warm air turns back into liquid when it touches the cold glass. The third part of the water cycle following condensation is precipitation. Have you ever seen rain falling from the sky? Another word for rain is precipitation. Precipitation occurs when so much water has condensed that the air cannot hold it anymore. The clouds get heavy and water falls back to the earth in the form of rain, hail, sleet, or snow. The water moving about in the water cycle does not always fall exactly where it evaporated from. Some places receive more and some places receive less rainfall. Each place has different needs for its water. The area may not receive enough precipitation in the form of rainfall, and that can be a big problem. That is why it's so important to conserve water. Who needs to conserve water? Everyone! You can also help your friends and families conserve water by sharing what you are learning. The fourth part of the water cycle following precipitation is collection. When water falls back to earth as precipitation, it may fall back into the oceans, lakes, or rivers, or it may end up on land. When it ends up on land, it will soak into the earth and become part of the groundwater that plants and animals use to drink. Or it may run over the soil and collect in the oceans, lakes, or rivers where the cycle starts all over again. Let's review. What are the main parts of the water cycle? The main parts of the water cycle are evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection.